What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a great weekend. In this video, we're going to be doing a weekly preview of the week ahead, December 9th. So, in this video, we're going to be talking about the QQQ, the SPY, the IWM. We're going to be talking about the markets, where they're going this week, I believe, where they're going long term. We're going to be talking about a little bit of news before we get into all of that. And then we're going to we're going to end this video with going over some high five setups that are ready to be executed, and also just a quick review of the trades that I'm actively in right now that are high five setups. So let's get into it. So on Friday, we had the jobs report come out. Unemployment did rise, which is honestly a little bit of a good thing, just because if we scroll down here with the rise to 4.2%, from 4.1% October of unemployment ticking up, we now have a massive leap in 87% percent chance from 70% chance that the odds that the Fed will rate cut to about 25 basis points or 0.25%. So our chances of them cutting have just jumped up in a massive way. I did make a video previously about calling for a pullback this week, which we'll get into here in a minute, which I still believe we're going to get that pullback. I did say it was going to be around some fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, around the news sending out there and putting the FUD out there saying that we weren't going to get a rate cut. But honestly, with this jobs data, that theory is kind of dead. But I'm still going to talk a little bit about how I still believe we're going to get a pullback, and it's just not going to be that FUD. It might be something else or a different catalyst. But yep, so we're up to 87% chance that they cut by 25 basis points now. Trump's also saying he's not going to go after his job, so that's also a big bonus there. Also, this weekend, depending on how the market takes it, tomorrow will be a really big indicator on how the market took soon to be President Trump's first interview since being elected for a second time. So he talked a lot about tariffs. He talked a lot about citizenship, what his plans, obviously, for whenever he takes office, and major reform to government. So we will see Monday. Monday is a big indicator of how Wall Street took his interview and what he was saying in that interview. So some news, nothing too much, nothing too crazy, honestly, on the news front. There's some Syria news with the leader in a plane crash and all this other stuff, but I don't think that shakes the markets really at all, in my opinion. So these are the two biggest news headlines for this week and this weekend. So let's get into the QQQ. So I don't think we're going to get the FUD anymore about, oh my God, the Fed's not going to cut, and then market pulls back. We did have a continuation higher. I did say we could have a continuation higher for the rest of last week. We were calling for all-time highs again, which we did get. We got over a 3% move to the high side. Very, very nice. But as you can see up here, when I called it the first time, when we were slamming into this barrier, this is your Williams R percentage, by the way. And then this box is your Williams consolidation box, something that I've personally coined and is one of my personal strategies that goes along with my high five setup. And essentially, it's just creating support and resistance within a box confined. And as long as you stay in that box, you continue to go higher in the stock price. Or the index or ETF or whatever it is, right? Or crypto, whatever. It can be used for all of it. So when we hit this top, we see a pullback typically, or some sort of consolidation. Hit this top, see a nice pullback, hit this top. So now with hitting this top again, this is why I'm calling out for this week, or the next 2 weeks before we get the Santa Claus rally, which is basically Christmas to the beginning of the new year, is your real Santa Claus rally. So before we get that, the next 2 weeks, I think we have some sort of consolidation sideways, or we get a pullback. The pullback, like I called out in my last video. You can go check that out. If you want like the full analysis on it, I'm not going to go deep into it, but I think we pull back to about 514, retest this prior resistance to make it into support before we head higher. This ascending triangle has a measured move up to about 580, and I also have a move up to 560. So I think we hit the 560 and 580 before we get any big, 10, 20, 30% pullback in the markets or crash, because anything over really 15, 20% is considered a crash in the market. So yeah, that's where I really think we're going. I think we're going to have some consolidation in here sideways in the QQQ, in the SPY, but I believe the IWM we're going to front run and continue higher more than likely. And I think this pullback is really going to come from a couple things. It's going to come from NVIDIA that might continue down to this volume shelf and consolidate more. It could honestly move higher. It's already been moving down, but another big honestly, the big tech Meta, I think it comes back down here to retest this bull flag breakout. I think Microsoft comes down here to retest this symmetrical triangle breakout. So I just think a lot of the big tech is going to come back to retest the breakout areas. I think even Apple, yeah, see, even Apple, we can just draw it real quick. Boom, boom, ascending triangle. Sorry, it's messy. They've broken out, right? They've broken out. I think they come back and retest. So I think it's going to be mainly big tech and the Mag 7 names that are really going to come back to retest their breakouts before we continue higher, which in turn, they're very heavily weighted in the QQQs and the SPY. So in turn, they will pull back the markets. But just because they're pulling back the overall markets doesn't mean that we're not still going to get small caps running or other mid caps or mega caps really going higher, right? It's just going to be these main names and these bigger names that I think pull back as they've broken out, pull back to retest, pull this Williams R percentage back down here to this upward trend line here, as we can see the blue arrow, about to this yellow box, and we get that pullback and then continuation higher. And we could see it here on the SPY as well. You see we have this pullback. We can draw this nice trend line here to say, okay, yeah, right in here is probably where we're going to get this pullback. And this pullback here would be, and these are all going to be less than 3% pullbacks, guys, on the SPY and QQQ. So less than 3% is just a small little pullback. It's not considered a correction or anything like that. It's just a small little pullback. 5% or more is considered more of a correction. And then like 5 to 10% correction. And then about 15% plus is obviously a crash, like I said. So again, go back to my other video and check it out so we can get through the rest of this. But 594 retesting this once resistance turning into support before we head higher on the SPY as well. And like I said, I think the IWM, they've already pulled back. They've already now pulled back to retest this once resistance now turned to support due to this retest. And we pulled right back to the area I thought we would, about 238. And now I think we continue higher because I believe this will front run. And as you can see up here in the Williams consolidation box, we could pull back down to support, but we've already touched it twice. So we might just kind of bounce here now and then continue sideways. Either way, I think it front runs it a little bit. And the IWM overall has a lot of catching up to do with the QQQ and the SPY. So I think we do get massive moves higher with the IWM and small caps running. And the thing you have to know too is in bull markets, small caps are typically always the last ones to run before you end up getting the crash. So my whole theory of a big crash, 15, 20% plus in the first quarter of 2025 is what I posted about. If you're just hearing this now, that's my theory. We get a big crash, 15% plus in the new year in the first quarter. So January to March at some point, we get a big crash in the markets. And the way the cycle of the market goes is in a bull market, the SPY and the QQQ and big tech and everything are running hot. They run hot, higher, higher, higher. And then basically, eventually, you get a flip into the Russell 2000 and the small cap stocks and micro stocks basically flying higher as well eventually. And usually before a crash, small caps, just like we saw in 2021, are the high flyers at the very tail end of the bull market before we get a big pullback correction. So that's what I believe is going to happen. I could be wrong. I'm not an oracle, but that's just what I believe is going to happen here in the first quarter of 2025. We'll just continue to monitor these charts, continue to monitor the Williams consolidation box and the Williams R percentage, because those are going to be our big indicators on telling us when we do have a big pullback, when we do have a big crash. As you can see here, box broke out of support, crash, crash. Box broke out of support, big pullback, or crash. The box broke out of support, right? Hold on. And I just posted a bunch of tutorials about this. I have a bunch of tutorials about predicting markets and everything using this tool in my high five strategy, but you can go check that out. Broke support, right? And then big crash down, big pullback, big crash down. So I have a bunch of tutorial videos on this stuff, guys. Go check them out. Really, really good knowledge to have in order to be able to predict the markets the best you possibly can. Because 10, 15, 20% plus crashes do not typically happen in one day outside of just, nuclear holocaust type stuff. So, yeah, we don't want any of that. So let's move on quickly so we can try to keep this under 20 minutes. NVIDIA is a name that looks good right now. It is a high five setup ready to execute. They still have a move up to about 184, 185-ish with this bull flag breakout. That's the measured move. We do have a bit of concern here, though, as we have broken down out of the consolidation box, which is also why I said we might get a bigger pullback down here to this volume shelf before we end up going higher. Pan W. So NVIDIA, maybe it's not a great high five setup right now. It's still green, but this is concerning, and this is not an area you would want to buy into. As you see, it comes back and then comes back and then goes down. So avoid that one. I'd say avoid NVIDIA unless you have different technical analysis. Pan W looks amazing right now. We had this ascending triangle pattern. We broke out, we consolidated right at the retest area, and now we are getting a move higher. We are going to engulf this wick right here at about 409, let's call it. And we have a measured move up to about 503 for a now almost 24% move. So really good looking consolidation box, looks amazing. High five indicators green, launching off all this volume right here. No really designated volume shelf besides down here. So everything looks good on that one. That's a good trade. I'd be happy to get into that trade on Monday. Called this one out the last week whenever it was down here around the 9 EMA and our high five indicator, basically around $67 to $70 down here. I said we had this nice double bottom breakout. We had this push up. We had this FUD come in with the analysts coming out and downgrading the stock to underweight. And we had this big crash. But I literally said, look, we're just getting a retest right here. And it's not over yet. Don't head for the exit doors yet. We might get a bounce. And we did. So this name, it's more volatile, but I can see a continued move higher now that we've consolidated and bounced. A break over $86, $87 is very bullish and would send this name to 108, then 133. New stock looks really great. It's a dinosaur stock, Deere and Company, John Deere. So we have our consolidation box forming up here with our Williams R percentage. We have a beautiful bull rectangle breakout. We consolidated in here sideways. We broke out. We're currently working on retesting. We have flipped green, have a buy signal on the high five indicator. We also have a stage 4 setup here with a measured move of 29% and then 74%, and then the stage 4 goes all the way up to $870. This is a longer time frame, 2028, the end of 2028, but these things happen way faster than the time frames. It's just a guide of this is how long it took for this is how long it could take to get there for that. Already talked about Meta, bull flag, breakout, Williams consolidation box is good. Looking for a pullback retest and a pullback in the markets this week, next week. Same thing with Microsoft. Still need to form our Williams consolidation box, but broke out of this downtrend on the Williams R percentage. Series, another new name. Nothing too crazy on this one, but a little bit of a little bull flag. We're breaking out right here. We have a measured move up to about $34, $35-ish for about 23% move, launching off a volume shelf. But be careful because we are hitting the barrier. We still need to pull back and create this consolidation box. Now let's get into our trades. I've already updated most of these. I updated Fubo already. Go check that out. Everything still looks good. We're right here at the breakout area. If we do reject and come down on the Williams R percentage and roll over red, I will look to exit this name as it's just going to continue to consolidate. And it is what it is. I bought in because we broke out. It was later in the week. I thought we were good. Well, we're not fully good yet. Looking for a continuation this week, and then I'll be a happy camper. Navitas, I think this is, with Fubo too. Like I already posted a bunch about this and these names, but man, if this thing gets going, it could have a monster move. 65% is the measured move and everything, but it could go big, guys. It could go really big, really fast. Same thing with Navitas. It's already going really big, really fast. Huge falling wedge pattern, popping off this volume shelf into this next volume shelf. Look for consolidation here after we hit this target. Look for consolidation and then move up to the next volume shelf and fill in this gap, and then so on and so forth. Measured move is about 315% higher from where it broke out at. So massive move inbound. Delo, beautiful breakout, retest right here, and then shot up, wicked off of that. Really, really bullish indicator. Looks good. Looking to fill this gap fill and then move higher. Hitty, another one I talked about a lot. Cup and handle breakout looks great. Consolidation, Williams consolidation box looking great. Measured moves are, a lot more than where it's at right now. And I also like the stock on a fundamental point. AI looks great. Updated this one, consolidated, now breaking out. We're looking for a move to 49 soon, and then 58 to complete the measured move. Mobileye, I posted enough about Mobileye. You should definitely go check out what I've been saying about it. But pulling back to this retest box, and I don't believe we're going to break this volume shelf. I think we're just having a nice little pullback. Same thing we did back here, and then we continue higher. Monday is going to be a huge day as it's the day of this analyst day, and they also are going to be talking about a ton of different technology and everything. We're about to run out of time, guys, so I'm just going to HIMS 35 this week, and then upward and onward 40 plus before end of the year. In mode still looks good. Everything's still good. Just retesting this bottom on this Williams consolidation box, having a pullback right down to the 9 EMA. We should get a bounce. If we don't, if we break down, we roll over on red, it'll be a losing trade. It is what it is. High five indicator tells us when to get in, when to get out. Square is about to go ham. Posted about that. Amazon's going to continue to go ham. About to hit the price target at 231. Looks good. Then 280. Measured moves all the way up to 310, guys. Looks amazing. Shopify consolidated, now breaking higher. Almost hit 121, our other profit target. Almost hit that. Continuing higher. We have profit targets all the way up to 180. Chipotle broke out symmetrical triangle pattern, bounce, push higher. It's going to continue, in my opinion. Tesla, still looking amazing, pushing up higher. I already updated a bunch of these guys, so I'll just leave it at that. If you want me to update any more stocks, just drop a comment on this, and I'll update them in the comments or something. I wanted to keep this video short. I appreciate all of you. Appreciate all the love and support, and hope this helped you for the week ahead. I'll catch you guys in the next one.